Bismillah, Jummah Mubarak, Assalamu alaikum, Alhamdulillah. Welcome back, Zoo Crew. Uh, it's Friday, you know, which means Friday prayers. And I guess before we even get into like the Friday prayers part, let's get a quick recap of the day, right? So I guess before we can even recap the day, we should address that. So in Islam, your day starts at Maghrib, right? So for those of you who are not Muslim, essentially Maghrib is the prayer that happens at sunset. And like the kind of beauty in this is people who are very like successful or disciplined or like self-starters, generally they know like you got to prepare the night before for the next day if you want to have a good day, right? And that's why I mean that's like the beauty of this because like it's built into the religion, right? And if you stay up late scrolling on your phone, like you don't eat early enough in the day, all of these things are going to impact your like morning, right? So you're not going to be able to wake up for Fajr prayer, which is the prayer that happens like before sunrise, right? So yeah, I mean, I'm learning as I go, right? So I gotta pay more attention to like the cues and the signals my body's giving me. So I went to sleep thinking like, oh, I'm just dehydrated. Woke up a couple hours later, had some more water, went back to sleep, and then like 3 a.m. I woke up again and was like hungry. So then I had to like actually eat food so I could sleep, right? And then I woke up at like 5 a.m. to do my like morning prayer, like the Fajr prayer. And then I was like, okay, cool. Like everything's like good to go now, you know? Let me head to the gym and then I'll go and get my car safety done. So God had different plans, obviously, right? So let's pause actually here. So I did my morning prayer and then I read Surah Yasin. This is something I recommend everybody starts doing Fridays. Like, I believe the sunnah is you read it every Friday and it's supposed to like give you protection for the next 7 days. For if like the Dajjal comes, you know. I believe that's what it is. Again, like I'm not a scholar by any means. Like I'm just some guy who's like learning, you know. So yeah, I did that, and then I was like, okay, let me head to the gym. Realized that like I didn't wash any of my gym clothes, so like first thing in the morning I had to do laundry. So while I was waiting for my laundry, I did made some breakfast, and then this is the thing. So because of like the amount of stress I've been under, I ended up getting diabetes, right? So they found out I had diabetes last year, and I've been like actively trying to like get over this or like beat it just because it's type 2 diabetes. So, I mean, you can never beat it, but you can put it into remission, right? By like eating clean and like exercising and just taking care of yourself, making sure you're not like too stressed out, right? And I guess that's part of why I was like so angry with my parents because it's like, you guys think like you did such a good job raising me, but then like you can't even like look at the fact that like this is the amount of stress I was under to the point where I got diabetes, right? And like my dad got diabetes when he was like 50, so like I got 20 years earlier than him, you know. But I mean, it is what it is. Like I'm at a point now where it's almost that remission, you know. Alhamdulillah. So yeah, I mean, I drove out to Orleans, um, and this is the thing. So I messaged like I have two cousins who are mechanics, right? So I messaged one and like he was like, yeah, like I'll let you know tomorrow, and like he's traveling and stuff, so I get it. But I mean, really, like throughout, like anytime I've like tried to like get him to like work on my car or something, I always get that feeling where it's like it feels like he's doing me like a huge favor or something, even though like I'm paying him. And then it's like, it just like you get to a point where it's like you can't just keep delaying your life either. So I hit up my other cousin, and this is like from my dad's side, and somebody like I've had falling outs with over the years, you know? And like sure enough, he was like, yeah, no problem, bro. Drop it off and I'll get it done. And like 3, 4 hours later, my car was done. And like to the point where like when I went, he was like, oh, like what are you gonna do now? And literally just gave me his car. He's like, yeah, go ahead, like use my car, and then like I'll give you a shout when it's ready, you know? Um, so yeah, and then like we were just talking about stuff, and like I guess he's having like a lot of these realizations too, or like a lot of the stuff I was saying to him, he was like, "Oh, you know what's like funny is like my wife's literally been telling me the same thing." So like I feel for him, you know, and it's part of it is sad, but then also I'm kind of like glad that at least he's like having these realizations, and at least he has like a solid wife, like somebody who's like sensible and like keeps him kind of grounded and can like see through the noise, you know? But yeah, so I got my safety done, and I'll probably have all of my other stuff done for Uber like tomorrow, you know? And yeah, so I went to the gym, went for Jummah prayers, and now this is where things get interesting, right? So in the last video that I did talking about like Islam and like Jummah prayers, right? So today the khutbah, sure enough, what are the topics he was discussing? Fear, hope, and love. So literally all of the things I've been discussing for the last few like weeks, right? And I guess like the main thing that like so he was talking more in terms of like God though, right? So like you should fear God because then you'll behave in a way that it's like when you're gonna meet your creator, like at least you're a good person, right? So fear is the driver, and then like hope is the vehicle, and then or no, love is the vehicle, and then hope is like the guidance, I guess. So and like he was talking about like you have to learn to balance like you have to like fear but then also love, right? So and I guess like the main point he was making is like you should be at a place where like you understand that your like creator is a forgiving person. So like it's okay if you make mistakes, right? And like you should be hopeful and like understand that like your creator will love you, so like it'll be forgiven. But then at the same time, like you should have fear that's gonna prevent you from doing things you shouldn't be doing, right? So let's say like for me, it's like certain way I dress or like certain place I go or like a certain thing I'm doing. And it's like if I was to die while in this action, like where would that let me like where would I end up? Am I gonna end up in heaven or hell, right? So like ask yourself really like look at your like day to day and like things you're doing and ask yourself like where am I going? You know? And this is the other thing. So today I haven't really listened to music. Normally in the mornings just to like pump myself up, like I'll have some like EDM like electronic type music going on, just like be like good vibes or whatever, you know. And so today I didn't do that, and today I was listening to like stories of the prophets, and Prophet Suleiman, so King Solomon, right? Very very interesting story. And then like the way, so like I haven't finished the whole story. I'm on part two now. But yeah, very like interesting story, you know? So all in all, in terms of like my Friday, I think I'm realizing that going all in on religion first was like a very good thing, you know? And then I kind of realized it's like everything is just like an illusion, right? Everyone's chasing this dream. So like alhamdulillah, I'm glad that I had this realization and like woke up to the reality. Cause it's like, look, why am I creating stress or like having anxiety or like depression? Like none of this stuff is real. First of all, this is the test. And like if you get so worked up and like take it all on yourself, first of all, it's like disrespectful to God because it's like God will like find a way, you know? And like whatever is meant to happen will happen. So it's like, why are you stressing? Just literally do your best and have faith whatever's supposed to be is gonna be, you know? Um yeah, so it's uh it's a journey, you know. Yeah. And then I guess the other thing is I wanted to like talk about. So I have this set. It's like the Daily Stoic, Ryan Holiday. So there's two books. One is a journal, and then one is also just like these little quotes, and then like a breakdown of the quotes. So I'm gonna read you guys this quote right now from Marcus Aurelius. Walk the long gallery of the past, of empires and kingdoms succeeding each other without number, and you can also see the future, for surely it will be exactly the same, unable to deviate from the present rhythm. It's all one, whether we've experienced 40 years or an eon. What more is there to see? So what's like the point of this, right? There's a rhythm to life, and when you're out of rhythm, you'll see like your discipline is gone and your life is just falling apart, right? So you have to find a way to keep your discipline, and it's okay to go off beat every now and then, but you have to catch yourself when you go off beat and come back onto the right beat. So you got to like understand your rhythm and then stay in the rhythm. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much everything that I would like to talk about today, or that's worth talking about. There's some other stuff that is worth talking about, but I've also learned that I need to not openly discuss everything because posting about your blessings or talking about your blessings is a surefire way to block your blessings. And I've also realized like a lot of evil eye, right? So people will kind of see something and then like something inside them will happen and like they don't mean to give you evil eye, but it just comes out naturally, right? So it's best like you just protect yourself and like whatever blessings you have, like keep it close to your chest. You don't need to expose it to the world. Like it's for you anyways, like between you and God. So yeah, that's day 22, I guess. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, yeah, tomorrow is going to be a good day. Me and John are finally going to run Halo 2 campaign. And yeah, I'm looking forward to shooting some aliens. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.